Hi, welcome to the CIS 3115 machine learning class. My name is Tom Gibbons. I'll be teaching this class. I've been working in AI and machine learning since my PhD many years ago in neural networks. So I love this topic. It's one of my favorite courses to teach. So here we're just going to do a quick course overview, give you a basic, quick structure of the class here. Um, this is a machine learning class, an AI class. Those topics are kind of interchangeable. Technically, machine learning is a subset of AI, but when people talk about AI today, they almost always mean machine learning portions of it. We'll be covering a variety of topics, and this is changing every year. So there's a number of traditional machine learning topics we'll use that are still used a lot in data analysis work. And so these are some of the things we'll be spending a couple weeks going over these, and then learning just basic structure of setting up a machine learning project and that sort of stuff. We'll look at what are called some unsupervised learning techniques and some of that stuff. And then we'll try to get quickly into neural networks and how neural networks work. Most of what you probably hear about as far as AI goes are neural networks. Here, these large language models, ChatGPT, all those sorts of things are based on neural networks. So we'll try to understand how the basic neural network works, different structures for neural networks, how they evolved into this format of that we use now, both for generating content and generating language and images and that sort of stuff. We'll wrap up talking about transformers and large language models. Now, last year we did this course shifting. We were covering about this much of the course in 15 weeks, and I took this whole thing and shrunk all this stuff down so I could free up about almost 3 weeks extra, so we could get into this transformers and large language models last year. This year it's even more important, so I'm going to be trying to shrink this down even more to free up another probably 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully we'll spend a little bit more time in large language models and the newest AI stuff, robotics and that sort of stuff at the end of class, and how you can create custom GPTs and that sort of stuff. So this is a little bit in flux as I'm trying to condense some of the earlier stuff, older stuff, to make room for the new stuff, and it's changes quickly. So now this is a flex format class. It is taught both in class and online at the same time, and you're all in the same space here. I will lecture every Tuesday and Thursday to my face-to-face students. I will record those lectures and post them to Brightspace, and they'll be weekly assignments. Everything will be done, so you're free to do this. Complete this class as an online student, as a face-to-face student. Face-to-face students, if you need to be missed class for some reason, you can just listen to the lectures or do the material without attending class. It's all set up so in this flex format for you to work with here. So we will do some hands-on activities in class, but again, I will post walkthroughs for you to do those and have you work. If you're an online student or aren't in class, you can just follow the walkthrough that I show with a screen recording stuff, and you can walk through that as we go. So, um, so let's talk about how this is set up here. We work with kind of a 2-week cadence here, where every other week we do things kind of an every other week schedule, and then we kind of repeat the same thing. So the main thing is that we have a project every 2 weeks here. So we'll start one week, start doing some topics. We'll do some learning activities, discussion posts. We'll introduce the project here. So the first week is learning new stuff and not as much stuff due here. The second week, we continue. We do another learning activity that you have to go through and complete. another discussion post, but there's also a project due every two, on the second week there. And then the next week we go back here and we will present some new material and stuff, and we're constantly doing this update stuff, but every 2 weeks you'll have a project due, and it'll be a little more due the like even week, the every other week sort of stuff here. So that's kind of the cadence of the class. And once we get started, once get through like 4 weeks of it, hopefully you begin to feel what that cadence feels like, and we'll continue that through the whole course here. Now, I know a number of computer students are looking for internships and working on resumes, and you're applying for some internships now, and you're wondering what are we going to learn for this class. So if you are that, here are the libraries we're going to be using, the machine learning libraries we'll be using in this class. So if you want to put those on your resume or talk about those, or this is the kind of stuff we'll be using in this class. Now, this is not a programming class. We won't be doing as much time programming with these libraries, but we will have you using them and working with them throughout the class here. I will tend to provide you code and then ask you to modify that code and make changes to that code. So I'll generally always be providing you a set of code, a machine learning model that'll do a basic task, and ask you to just tweak it, make some changes through that. And so we'll see these libraries used here, but you certainly are not going to become an expert on these libraries, but you should be fairly familiar with these libraries by the time we're done. Now, there isn't a textbook for this class. We'll be relying a lot on online resources. There's a lot of online resources provided by Microsoft and Google and Kaggle and places like that. So every week we'll be finding that. Now, I do teach a graduate version of this course where we use this hands-on machine learning textbook here. So if you want a book that covers some of this stuff, feel free to get that book. The format, the order of this class tends to follow the order of this book. And you somewhat follow along, though it's no way required. But again, some people just really like a physical book or a book that they can do, but they'll do it. So again, that's overview, and will be. So again, here's a quick overview. Here's like what Unit 1 will look like. It'll be pretty typical. There'll be some learning resources. Well, I will lecture and go through some materials here. So there'll be some topics that I'll go through and explain some stuff here with some videos and some other materials, links to stuff. So we'll go through that. And let me get back to Unit 1. So, and then again, I will post the lectures from class here. I'll tend to delete these older ones and post the newer ones here. You'll have an explore activity every week, and this is again where you're going out and doing one of these lessons, usually from Microsoft or Amazon or Kaggle or stuff like this, well-known machine learning resources. And we'll talk about some of these are things you can do and actually earn a badge or some other award that you can share on LinkedIn or put on your resume or stuff. But every week you'll have a choice of one of these explore activities to do and a reflection on that. There'll be a learning notebook. This is where we'll create a model and do that, and we'll talk about setting up these Colab notebooks and doing these, but every week we'll have one of these. There'll be some discussion group or discussion posts, and usually it'll be different every week, and I'll describe what I want you to do and post. And then every other week, there will be a project due. So often I might introduce it in the first week, but it won't be due until the second week. Some of these will be group projects here, and so, a fair number of them are individual projects, and we'll post details about those. And so again, and then when we go to week 2 here, it's similar format. Learning resources, the Zoom recordings, the explore activities, a new set of explore activities for you to do, a new learning notebook to do, a new discussion post, and then the project will be now due on the second week. And then the third week we'll start again reviewing that. And so every other week, in week 4 there'll be a project due, in week 6 there'll be a project due, etc. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on this. I'm looking forward to an exciting class.